Good morning, students. I am Manikant Mishra, Modern English School. It is a very sad matter that 90% students are not watching video, because yesterday, to make sure whether you are watching video or not, I had given a question purposely, but hardly all across this new area as well as from the Kunti Nagar building, less than 10 students had solved and shown to me. Now, out of 300 students, 10 students, hardly, not that much, less than 10 students shown me. It's a very, very discouraging fact for me. So, my dear students, to whom you are going to cheat, please pay attention. Please be honest with your life. So, yesterday we had discussed about the electrovalent bond, the bond formed by transfer of electrons. When the transfer of electron takes place, one atom loses electron, another atom gain electron. And this type of bond formed generally between the metal and non-metal. So, when the metal loses electron, acquire positive charge, and non-metal gain electron, acquire negative charge. Now, when these two are coming together, then electrostatic force of attraction acting between them. Due to strong electrostatic force of attraction, these compounds are very stable compound. Very stable compound. So now let us talk about the properties of ionic compound or electrovalent compound. My dear student, once again I will tell you, the compound which contain ionic bond or electrovalent bond is called ionic compound or electrovalent compound. Like NaCl formation takes place within the Na plus and Cl minus bond form is a ionic bond. So NaCl compound is called ionic compound or electrovalent compound. Similarly, magnesium oxide, calcium chloride, calcium fluoride. So these are the example of a electrovalent compound or ionic compound. Now let us come to the properties. Electrovalent compounds are generally exist in a crystalline solid. Why electrovalent compound or ionic compound generally exist in crystalline solid? Due to strong electrostatic force of attraction. Second, ionic compound has high melting point and boiling point. Why ionic compounds have high melting point and boiling point? Due to strong electrostatic force of attraction, ionic compound has high melting point and boiling point. Ionic compound has a high density due to a strong electrostatic force of attraction. Ionic compounds do not conduct electricity in the solid state because ions are held together by strong electrostatic force of attraction. But when the ionic compounds are either in their aqueous solution or in their molten state, they become a good conductor of electricity. Because when ionic compound either in their molten state or in aqueous solution, ions become free, due to which these becomes a good conductor of electricity. Ionic compounds are soluble in water. Ionic compounds are soluble in water. So these are the properties of ionic compound. Now let us talk about the physical properties of metal and non-metal. Physical properties of metal and non-metal. First, metals are generally good conductor of heat and electricity, whereas non-metals are poor conductor or bad conductor of heat and electricity. Why metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, whereas non-metals are bad conductor of electricity? Though everything is made up of matter, and matter is made up of atom, and atom is made up of electron, proton and neutron. Then why these kinds of differentiation between the metal and non-metal? I can tell you, just you have studied, we have discussed about the bond, electrovalent bond. Metal has a tendency to lose electron, non-metal has a tendency to gain electron. Why it happens? I have already discussed it, that in a metal the valence electrons are loosely held. In a metal, the valence electron, outermost electron, are loosely held by the nucleus. So due to loosely held valence electron, it comes out of the cell. The electron present in the metal, which is loosely held by the nucleus, comes out of the cell. Now we have the two part here. The electron which go out of the valence cell, that electron, it becomes free. So this electron is called free electron or mobile electron. And rest, the core electron and nucleus are left. Core electron other than valence electron is called core electron. Electron other than valence electron is called core electron. So now core electron and nucleus are together called kernels, positive kernels. Core electron and nucleus are together called kernels, positive kernels. Now we have the two setup, positive kernels and the free electron. This free electron is responsible for the conductance of heat as well as electricity. But in a non-metal, the outermost electron or valence electron are strongly held by the nucleus as compared to metal. So the valence electron is not able to come out of the cell. That's why in a non-metal, valence electrons are not free. Electron is there, electron is present, but electron is not free. So due to not availability of free electron, non-metals are bad conductor of electricity. So this is the basic concept why the metals are conductor of electricity, why non-metal is a not conductor of electricity. My dear student, hopefully if you watch this video, then you will be able to understand. One of the properties, what I said, metals are good conductor of heat and electricity, whereas non-metal are bad conductor of electricity except graphite, carbon. Graphite, carbon. Graphite is a allotropes of carbon. That we will study in the chapter of carbon, why graphite is a good conductor of heat and electricity. So, thank you. Have a nice day.